Hello fight fans, welcome to our latest video where we'll look up the top 8 fights that publicly embarrassed the UFC. From shocking upsets to one-sided beatdowns, these bouts left the UFC and its fans in disbelief. So join us as we count down the most infamous moments in UFC history. Will your favourite fight make the list? Let's find out. Number 8. Pat Miletich vs Andre Pederneiras. When a champion faces opponents who are not top-tier contenders, the significance of the championship belt is diminished. This was the case in a specific fight between Pat Miletich and Andre Pederneiras at UFC 21, where the champion was taking on someone with just one professional fight. The opponent, Pederneiras, had a strong background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but his single victory did not justify him being in the fight. The fight's promotion did not attempt to promote Pederneiras, and the fight resulted in Miletich winning after the fight was stopped due to a cut over Pederneiras' eye.
To bring it to the ground.
Yeah, and he's got 2 underhooks, just like Posaka plays the game. Except Posaka.
Number 7. Kazushi Sakuraba vs Conan Silveira. The 1997 Ultimate Japan Heavyweight Tournament was a chaotic and unprofessional display by the UFC with multiple mistakes and errors. It was a 4-person tournament featuring skilled fighters, including Tank Abbott, who defeated Yoji Anjo in the first round. The second bout was between Conan Silveira and Kazushi Sakuraba, where the referee incorrectly stopped the fight, assuming Sakuraba was unconscious, leading to a no contest, and neither fighter advanced. However, upon review, it was clear that Sakuraba was not unconscious. Abbott broke his hand in the first round and could not continue to the final round. To resolve this, the UFC had Silveira and Sakuraba fight again later that night to determine the tournament winner. Kazushi Sakuraba went on to win with an armbar in under 4 minutes.
Right. The winner by tap out is Kazushi Sakuraba!
Number 6. Nate Diaz vs Jorge Masvidal. In 2019, Jorge Masvidal was on a path of success, and his upcoming fight at UFC 244 against Nate Diaz was expected to be a major win for the UFC. The match was highly anticipated as it had a new one-off title to crown the baddest in the promotion, 2 fan-favorite fighters, and The Rock was to present the belt. Roberto Duran showing support for Masvidal, and even the President of the United States in attendance at Madison Square Garden. The fight ended in disappointment when a cut Nate Diaz suffered 3 weeks ago reopened before the fight during the first round, and the New York State doctor called the fight after a thorough beating by Masvidal in the 3rd round. The fans were disappointed and the fight left everything unresolved. The Rock appeared disappointed as he presented the belt to Masvidal, and fans were seen leaving the arena before the post-fight interviews were even finished.
Big ground and pound shots. Wow!
Number 5. Sean Sherk vs Hermes Franca. The UFC's lightweight title had a tumultuous history before gaining legitimacy under BJ Penn in 2008. The first champion, Jens Pulver, was stripped of the title in 2002 due to a contract dispute. The UFC then attempted to award the vacant title to the winner of BJ Penn and Kyle Uno at UFC 41. But that bout ended in a draw, leaving the title dormant for 3 years until Sean Sherk picked it up in 2006. Sherk's first defense of the title was against Hermes Franca at UFC 73, which was a significant embarrassment for the UFC. Despite the fight being unremarkable, both Sherk and Franca tested positive for steroids after the fight, leading to Sherk being stripped of the title. This was a major blow to the UFC, which was trying to make the sport more legitimate in the eyes of the public and raised concerns about the use of steroids in the sport. Number 4. Tito Ortiz vs Ken Shamrock 2. The rivalry between Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock played a crucial role in the growth of the UFC, even if it was not the most competitive. Their first fight at UFC 40 helped to turn the tides for Zuffa and helped to carry the promotion forward. Despite the company losing money, the second fight between the two was given an entire season of The Ultimate Fighter to help build it up, which was a huge hit. Season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter, which featured the two as coaches, and UFC 61, which were the co-main event, set a new buy rate record for the UFC at the time, with 775,000 built on the rivalry between Ken and Tito. The fight was a big deal, but was a major disappointment. The referee stopped the fight too early, Ken seemed fine, and Tito's momentum was slowed down. Fans chanted Tito, who said he would gladly run it back, and they did a few months later, this time on free TV as a sorry we fucked up the first time, but the fight had the same outcome. Number 3, Anderson Silva vs Damian Maia. In 2009, the government of Abu Dhabi purchased a 10% ownership stake in the UFC. To impress and wow the new investors, plans were immediately implemented for a big show. The resulting UFC card featured a Legends bout between Matt Hughes and Renzo Gracie, BJ Penn defending his lightweight title against Frankie Edgar, and Anderson Silva, the most awe-inspiring and unbelievable champion in the sport, defending the middleweight strap against Damian Maia. However, Silva's performance in the headliner was strange and lazy, with him acting wilder and sillier than usual and not really engaging in the fight. This prompted Dana White, the president of the UFC, to leave the arena in disappointment and give the belt to Silva's manager to put around his waist. Despite Silva's poor performance, he won the fight, resulting in the UFC giving Chael Sonnen the next middleweight shot to push the pace against the champion. Number 2, CM Punk vs Mickey Gall, Mike Jackson. The UFC decided to sign pro wrestler CM Punk, otherwise known as Phil Brooks, to a multi-bout deal despite having no MMA experience. This attracted lots of backlash from fans and fighters too, but the UFC's handling of the lead up to his debut bout with Mickey Gall was seen as fair. However, when the fight occurred, Punk was quickly taken down and defeated, leading to criticism that the decision to sign him was a cash grab and a freak show fight. The experiment was considered a failure and a public embarrassment for the UFC. Number 1, Slice vs Seth Petrozelli. Petrozelli, a small heavyweight and a last-minute replacement for Ken Shamrock on the Elite XC card, defeated the company's heavily favoured main draw, Kimbo Slice, with punches leading to a TKO in just 10 seconds. This loss not only caused Kimbo to fall, but also resulted in the downfall of Elite XC as a company, with the organisation filing for bankruptcy shortly after. In conclusion, these 10 fights have shown that even the biggest and most successful promotion in the world of MMA is not immune to embarrassing moments. The UFC has always been able to recover from these setbacks and continues to be a major force in the world of combat sports. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our next video for more exciting content.